Greetings, students. This is Mrs. Lancaster, and I'm going to be giving you a series of lectures throughout the course that will hopefully prepare you to do your homework assignments. As you know from the syllabus, you can do your assignments 3 times to get the best grade possible, and that same thing is true with the quizzes. So the first thing we're going to do today is to look at Access and learn about what a database is while we're looking at your homework assignment. First of all, you notice that you've got up here the ribbon, which is very similar to what you're going to find in Microsoft Word or Microsoft Excel. We've got the place to create new items, from tables to queries to forms and reports and macros. We can also import and export data from the database, so we can use it in different types of files. We have tools that you're going to be learning to use. And then you have the File tab, which takes you to the front. So the first thing that we need to look at are the objects. So within Access, we have all kinds of objects, and if you don't see everything sorted by tables, queries, forms, and reports, then you can hit this drop down and say that you want all Access objects and you want it set by object type. So that's the easiest way to look at your objects. First of all, we have our tables. The tables are where the data is stored. The queries, forms, and reports only show you the data. They don't actually contain the data themselves. So we right-click and we're going to look at the design view of our table. Tables are broken down into related data, and they contain fields and a data type. So in this case, the field name is author ID, and when we look at the record, which is a collection of related fields, we're going to see names under author ID. They're identified by the field name. And this field happens to be a number. And you can look at the bottom at the general properties. That is a long integer. It's a general number format, automatic decimal places, and the caption of what we're going to see is called author ID. Then we have last name, and the data type for it is short text. First name, and then we have a system field. So we want to look at this in datasheet view, which is going to be looking at it as kind of like a spreadsheet. We can see that under author ID, we indeed have our numbers, and that is the key field. If we go back to look at design view, you'll notice it has a little key next to author ID. That means it's the primary key, and that is a unique value. So we can always find the last name and first name as long as we know the author ID. Then we have the last name, first name, and then the system row that we're not even going to mess with this in this class. So note that the data is stored in records, the related fields, and they're keyed on author ID. Excuse me. If we look at books in design view, we see that we have author code, which is a number, and then we have title, and our key field is the ISBN. We have publisher ID, publisher date, price, and the stock amount. So notice that the key field doesn't always have to be the first field. And if we look at this in datasheet view, we see that we have our author codes. And in this case, notice they're not unique. So they can't be the key field in this particular case. But the ISBN is unique. And so that's going to be the key field that we use to look up the books. Then we have publishers. We have a publisher ID, the name, address, city, state, and zip. And they're all short text. So pub ID is the key field in this case. And we'll use that to look up the publishers. Now, one thing about Access, and you really won't get into this too much until later in the class, but I want you to know about it. Access is a relational database system. And you'll note that we had our data in related tables. All the author information was in one table, the books in another, and the publishers in another. The reason it's that way is if we put all the books in with the publishers, then we would have to include the publisher for every book. And that would be a lot of data in one place.